guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. So today we are going to talk all about rhinoplasty, my procedure, where I got it done, and so on and so on. So I got my procedure done. Tomorrow will mark exactly 3 weeks since I got my rhinoplasty done in Colombia. I have been wanting to get this procedure for a very, very long time. I was bullied a lot as a kid for the shape of my nose. I did have a hump and a very, very droopy nose. So I've been called all sorts of bird names growing up, which was very difficult as a young kid, especially as a girl, not having lots of confidence. So that did affect me a lot growing up. As I hit my 20s and I kind of grew into my nose, I did become more confident in it, and it didn't bother me anymore when I was having a conversation with somebody or even from the side profile. Even though I had that droop, it didn't bother me a lot. But as I have gotten older, what has bothered me the most has been that when I smile, my the tip of my nose was basically a couple of millimeters away from my lip. And I noticed that as I got older, it got worse and worse. So about 2 years ago, I did get some filler to help with my hump, and I did get um what's it called, like a lift with some strings, or with I got a lift with strings about 2 years ago, and that did help me from the side a lot. It did help me lift my tip a lot, but from the front it didn't basically do anything. But that only lasted like 6 months to eight, like 6 to 8 months, and after that my nose just went down again, and it started to bother me even more because I saw that big difference, and it has been bothering me a lot more ever since. So I had a friend that did her nose in Colombia about 2 years ago, and I've been talking to her about it, about doing it with the surgeon who she did it with. But I have a 10-month-old baby, so it was difficult for me to leave her because I still breastfeed her. So it seemed close to impossible to be able to go to Colombia for 8 to 12 days to be able to get my surgery. But my friend reached out to me and she told me, hey, listen, I'm actually flying out to Colombia. So if you want, we can go together and you can bring the baby with you and I can help you. So that was a huge relief. And as soon as she told me that, I bought the ticket. I spoke to the surgeon because I had already been speaking to him for a few weeks. And I confirmed that he could do it on a certain day that she was going to be there. And, he gave me the okay. So I went ahead and booked the flights. I got to Colombia on a Saturday. I got blood work done and an EKG done on a Monday, and my surgery was on that Wednesday. I went into surgery at about 7 a.m. It did take me a long time to wake up from anesthesia, but it always takes me a very long time. So I got home at about 3 p.m. and I was basically carrying the baby, and I was able to breastfeed her that night. The only thing that I wasn't able to do, or I was able to do it, I just didn't do it because I didn't want to bend down, was shower her. So my friend helped me shower her for about the first 2 nights, and after that, I was basically able to do everything for her, change her, breastfeed her, carry her, shower her. So it wasn't difficult at all. After the surgery, I didn't have any pain whatsoever. It was just discomfort. The day up and the following day, you have your nose covered, and there is a lot of drainage, and you can feel the drainage. So you kind of want to like blow your nose or make sure that you're not dripping, but you can't because you have it covered. It wasn't painful at all. I didn't get prescribed any narcotics. All I did was taking some 400 milligrams of ibuprofen in the daytime and in the nighttime. Wasn't painful at all. It was uncomfortable to sleep because I had to sleep sitting up, and that gave me so much back pain. So now I went back. I don't sleep completely flat, so I sleep a little bit elevated, but not upright as much as I was before, and that has helped my back pain so much. The following day after surgery, I did go in so he could remove the packing from the inside, which did not hurt. I had a lot of fear just because my thoughts were, I've been draining in there. I'm sure there's been bleeding in there, and I was afraid it was going to be like kind of taking a gauze off of a cut that kind of reopens that cut. But the doctor was like, "Hey, don't worry about it. We use non-stick packing, so it wasn't difficult for him to take out the left one." But my septum was very, very deviated going to the left. So he said he did have to do a lot of work on my right nostril. So the packing on my right nostril did move a little farther up than it should have. So it was difficult for him to take this one out, but not painful, just uncomfortable for him to pull it out. And then once he pulls it out, you have the boogers and the whole situation. So that was very uncomfortable. I did get cut on both nostrils, but I did not have any incision on the center of my nose, and then the rest of the incisions were in the inside of my nose. I did get 3 stitches on either side, and then dissolvable stitches on inside. So after I saw him the day right after surgery, he removed the packing and he removed the gauze that I had in the bottom of my nose, and I had to go back and see him 7 days after that. So a few days after that, I want to say my swelling peaked at about day 2 or day 3. I had swelling all in my cheeks, under my lip. This was extremely swollen. My forehead was swollen, and I did have a lot of bruising. I didn't take any arnica pills or any arnica, or didn't use any arnica cream. In Colombia, they use a cream called Basotone, and I did place that on the bruising, which did help at about day 4 and 5. I want to say at about day 7, I didn't have any more purple bruising. All I had was kind of like the yellow and green hue on my under eyes, and then I got 2 bruises on either side of my like lower on my jaw area, which was a little bit weird. So I did have like the little yellow hue there. So after 7 days, exactly 7 days after my surgery, I went back to see the surgeon. He removed the 3 stitches that I had on both sides, and then I had kind of like a plastic guard on both nostrils that went from here all the way up, which was holding my septum in place just because it was so deviated. So we did have to straighten that out, and it was kind of giving me extra support that I needed in the center of my nose. He took the cast off. I saw my nose for the first time and I absolutely hated it. I thought it was the ugliest thing on the planet. It was so swollen, so big, it just looked like one huge sausage in the center of my face, and so upturned. It reassured me that that would go down and it was just swelling. And I did, I did research before that, so I knew that it was swelling. But one thing is reading about it, and one thing is it's happening to you. So it was kind of like a shocker seeing myself. And the first day, right after he removed everything, but it has gotten a lot better. After that 7 day checkup, he did retape my nose, and then the day right after which was 8 days right after my surgery, I was able to fly back home. I was very, very nervous flying back home with the baby, just because going through an airport, going through, customs, all of that is very, very difficult in itself, especially with the baby. But I put her in the carrier and I basically checked in all my bags, so I didn't have to carry anything around. And I had just my diaper bag, and it was a walk in the park. The baby hasn't bumped my nose, she hasn't hit my face. Anything hit my face when it comes to my daughter, and she is 10 months old. And I do breastfeed her on a daily basis. I was mostly worried about that right after the surgery, but that hasn't been difficult whatsoever. Um, so I came back on day 8 after my surgery, and I had everything retaped, and I had to leave that on for 8 days. So that did help with the swelling. The swelling has gone down a lot since the first day, since that follow up when he removed my cast with the surgeon. But I do still have a lot of swelling. I have much more swelling on my left side than I do on my right side. I do have lots of swelling in my bridge. My nose does feel very, very stiff, like I can't really move it. And it just feels like the skin on my nose does feel extremely stiff. I do have some stiffness and some swelling in the bottom of my lip, so I can't really smile correctly. Like, my lip doesn't really go up as much as it should. And then my nostrils feel very, very, very hard, and they are uneven just because of that uneven swelling. The scarring, I don't, it's been exactly tomorrow will be 3 weeks. I do still have stitches on the inside, and then I just have that redness. I do apply scar cream and SPF moisturizer on every single day, so hopefully that will help with the redness, and the redness will eventually fade. So that was basically the little details on my procedure. It wasn't painful at all, just very uncomfortable. It was very, very easy when it came to the baby and the recovery from it. I was basically able to do everything that I needed to do right after, just kind of take a little bit easy, but no significant change. I want to say that I am happy that I made the decision because I was so unhappy with my previous nose. But to be 100%, completely honest and say that I am in love, completely in love, I made the most amazing decision on the planet, the answer is no. I am still very uncomfortable. I guess uncomfortable with not looking at myself in the mirror because I don't. It's not that I don't like what I see. I just feel very uncomfortable because when I do look at myself in the mirror, I don't recognize myself because it has been such a huge difference, and I see myself so different and just like a completely different person. It has been very difficult to get used to. It has been 5 days since I've completely removed all the tape, and throughout the day, I don't have any tape. I just tape it at nighttime. I was already used to looking at it with the tape, so I was kind of like, all right, it's okay. And now getting used to it without the tape is another kind of like hurdle that I have to pass because every single day has been difficult. When I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, it kind of like hits me less and less every day, but it still is very difficult to look at myself in the mirror because I know that it's me. I just don't recognize myself when I look at myself in the mirror. So I am looking forward to that decreasing every single day and the swelling going down every single day and kind of building that new confidence every single day. And it's difficult to kind of see people that you've seen in the past that maybe don't know that you have a rhinoplasty, and you don't know if they're looking at you weird because you look completely different or because you look terrible or because they don't know what's wrong with you, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and then you're weirded out about what you see in the mirror because you don't really recognize yourself. So it's like this weird mind fucking game that's kind of getting difficult. It's been difficult to adjust to. But besides that, the actual surgery, the recovery was pretty much a walk in the park. I'm just looking forward to falling in love with my face all over again and the swelling going down and kind of getting used to looking at my new self all over again. So I will definitely keep you guys updated on the progression that I make and how everything moves forward from here. Tomorrow marks week 3. I will update you guys every few weeks when there are significant changes. Let me just show you. I'm gonna put the before and after picture. I'm gonna put the before pictures, and this is basically what we're dealing with right now. So this is her from the front, 3/4, and sideways. So I love her more from the side than I do from the front, just because my nose was so droopy after my nose was so droopy before that I wasn't used to seeing my nostrils, and now I can see my nostrils every single time when I look at myself. So I feel like a little piggy, but it's supposed to go down, and my tip is supposed to drop a little bit more, so my nostrils will be facing down just a tad bit more, and slowly but surely it should get prettier. So I should feel more comfortable with it. So I will let you guys know how that goes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe just so we can get through this journey together. If you're thinking about having a rhinoplasty, just go with the surgeon, speak to them, make sure that you feel comfortable and confident in them kind of messing with the center of your face. If you just recently got a rhinoplasty and you're kind of going through something similar that I am, just know that you're not alone. If you have any questions, something that I didn't answer, please put it in the comment section down below. I didn't want to get into the nitty gritty of the details of what product I use to clean and how, every single small detail, just because every single surgeon has their own instructions on how they do things and what products they want you to use and how often they want you to use them, and how often they want you to tape and how they want you to tape. But if you do have any questions on my specific journey on about any of those details, please put them in the comment section down below and I will be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.